Hey everyone, Barry here from Music Tech Info. Hope you're doing good today. So I've had quite a few comments regarding the Bitcoin Ordinals videos that I've been doing. I did some a year ago and I've picked it back up again. So I just wanted to really cover a kind of update really in terms of where we are with Bitcoin Ordinals. Now, Bitcoin Ordinals are like the NFTs, but actually on the blockchain of Bitcoin. So via Satoshis. Now there's 100 million Satoshis to one Bitcoin. So that provides a huge opportunity for so many inscriptions, which is another word for minting, for NFTs. So there's a lot of stuff that I can show you, but I thought I'd just touch on the main points. So first of all, there's a couple of viewers of Bitcoin where you're able to actually see the latest inscriptions of what's been minted on the blockchain to give you a bit of an idea. Now, the first one is known as ordinals.com. And on ordinals.com, it'll start to pick up all of the latest inscriptions that's actually on the blockchain. Now, this can be in various different media forms. So it could be video, it could be audio, it could be images, it could be a GIF, it could be a game, it could be a 3D model like SVG or something. So it's just really clever to be able to see what's being inscribed straight away. So if I click on that miserable cat, what you're then presented with is the unique ID number. So this is the inscription ID number, okay? And I can scroll down, and this is the actual full address of this particular inscription with the metadata as well, the address of it, the Satoshi name, the Satoshi number, whether there's a link to it, the height, the fee, the transaction when it was inscribed on the blockchain, etc. So it's just a really good, enjoyable way of seeing what's out there. I mean, I'd love this to be on a screen, just constantly updating, like on a TV or something. I think that would be really cool. Bit sad for some, I guess. I can understand why some people would think that, but still. So you can see all inscriptions via this one, but you can see that there's not much sort options here. Now, my laptop may get laggy because this is loading a lot of stuff into Chrome. We've then also got what's called runes. Now, runes are quite new. You can see this particular text. Now, these are known as fungible tokens, but they do seem to have a lot of value provided to them. Now, they do have an image associated to them, but they are tradable like tokens. They are basically tokens, runes. So lambda 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 was created, and it'll say you where it was etched, the supply, how many have been burnt. So it's very similar to tokenization, but again on the Bitcoin network. Now the argument is that a lot of NFTs have gone downhill. There's been a lot of scams, a lot of bad people in the market, but also because a lot of NFTs on, say, Ethereum or Solana or Binance or whatever aren't actually minted on the blockchain itself. It's just a link to a server with the image on it. So the link will be inscribed, sorry, minted. I'm getting my terminology confused. The mint will be inscribed in terms of the link, but not the actual image. So what happens if that server goes down? Now, IPFS, for example, is a decentralized server. However, it's always a question, what if it went down? Whereas Bitcoin, apparently, it's going to be there forever. It's inscribed on Bitcoin forever. Now, that's why I think Bitcoin ordinals and runes have just skyrocketed, because of this reason. Because whatever you inscribe is inscribed on the Bitcoin blockchain. Now, in terms of talking about terminology and various things, if you think about it, if you're inscribing one of one on the blockchain, then that's the only one to exist, and it's forever on Bitcoin. So I can understand why it provides a lot of value. Okay, anyway, let me go back. We've also got a few filters up here. So this one is the runes that we've just checked out. There's collections as well, and that's one of the good things about ordinals is that you can group them together to have collections. You can also have parent ordinals. So for example, my brand, Cyber Monday, I'm a musician. The logo could be the top parent, and then any ordinal I mint or inscribe after that, I can link to that parent ordinal. So the technology is really good. The only downside with Bitcoin is that it doesn't seem to have smart contracts as part of it. Now, some of the platforms are doing smart contracts, they're able to do it on the front end or their back end. But in terms of the Bitcoin server, I don't think that's currently possible, just to let you know. So we can see various collections on here. I can click on one, let it load. This is an early inscription, 558. Lagging, sorry, bear with me. It'll catch up. And then you can see this is the parent, and these are all of the children, and there's 20 of those. So yeah, I just think it's amazing. Let me just put myself on DND because I get annoyed with all of the noises that I typically get. Sometimes I forget to do that on a video. Good. What else have we got? So we've got collections. We've also got blocks. Now, blocks are literally that, the blocks on the Bitcoin network. And you can see there's a search bar here. So if you wanted to search block 877917, that's what you get. You've also got rare.text. This is when it gets a bit technical for me, talking about Satoshi points and things. It's beyond me, really. Go back. Oh, it's using up a lot of memory on this laptop. Okay. And then you've got a clock for some reason, a handbook, a GitHub, and a Discord server. So that is ordinals.com. So I encourage you to check that one out. It's very, very good. The next Bitcoin browser that I use personally is ord.io. Now, ord.io has a lot more filters, particularly around the media types. And what I love about ord.io is the fact it's a bit like a social media platform because you're able to comment on any of the ordinals that you like. And you're able to see people's comments and you're able to upvote them. And the search function is really good as well. So if someone comments a great song, you could go in the search great song and it'll come up with all of the ordinals that say that. It's not perfect, but it's a really good starting point. Because guys, a year ago, we were barely touching the surface of what was possible. So this has really come on. Now, one artist has been minting a load of artwork, as you can see. It's so good, really good stuff. Whether this stuff's going to be listed on one of the platforms, we just don't know yet. So if I have a look now, we're looking at inscriptions, which are the NFT equivalents on Bitcoins. We've got the all filter on here. We can see the trending as well. We can change that to the newest, which I like to see. Sometimes it's just a load of code. You can choose by the oldest, the top. So if I have a look at top, these are the top ordinals that have ever been done. You might have come across this particular one. Dogs go to the moon. You might have come across this one, the runestone. Now this runestone, if you hold this runestone, you actually get various airdrops. Now one's been dropped already, another one's due in Q3 of 2025. And if this project goes to number one in the charts, then there'll be another airdrop as well. Now, the amazing thing is about this, there's a limit in terms of the largest file size of an ordinal, and that is 4 megabytes. Now, a floppy disk, high density disk, used to be 1.44. So it's like having 3 and a bit floppy disks, really, which isn't very much if you think about it. But look at what you can do with 4 megabytes. So this runestone, I can move it around and look at the reflection it's got on it. Now this is currently around, I don't know, $550 it's selling for. Now it's going up in value because there's going to be another drop in Q3, and there's a lot of talk about this on Twitter at the moment. Now, unfortunately, I sold my runestone. I had one because I was one of the early adopters of Bitcoin ordinals, and I was surprised to see it in my wallet. But I had a ton of tokens and I decided to sell. And Moonstone was just one of those. Have thought about getting it back, if I'm completely honest, but it's not cheap. But they are very valuable and it's minted on the blockchain. Now, if I scroll down, you've got the normal kind of stuff about the inscription number, the projects, which I'll come on to in a moment. And if I scroll down, where am I? There we are. You can see here, this is what I mean. You've got upvotes here on comments. You can add your own response with your digital wallet. Um, I love it. People are talking about this. This is great. You can see the child inscriptions here of what it relates to. We didn't have this before. It's just great to see. If I have a look at the Runestone project, you'll now see all of them that have ever been inscribed. Again, you're able to see various filters, such as holders, etc. Lovely. Let me go back because, again, my laptop's laggy a little bit. So that's Runestone. You're able to also filter by various time references, such as the last hour, the last day. I was having a good think about it. This is pulling from the Bitcoin network directly, which is why it can take a while. You've also got some of the attributes. Now, on these Satoshis, they've identified rare ones. Like, for example, the pizza. When Bitcoin was actually cheap, somebody paid a load of Bitcoin for 2 pizzas, and all of those Satoshis linked to that purchase of all of the Bitcoins used to purchase just 2 pizzas have been labeled pizza, which is brilliant. Same as the first transaction, vintage, rare, uncommon. So these are another element of value on the Bitcoin network, and you're able to collect these as well. You've got range if you want to be a bit more specific. So let's have a look now. So we've got images, okay? These are the images based on the filters that you've got. You've got GIFs as well for animation. Provides a lot more, excitement, I guess. You've got text. So you can actually mint text. Now, the downside of the Bitcoin network, it is slow and it is expensive to inscribe, to mint on the network. So if you're doing text, it's going to be fairly cheap. If you're going up to 4 megabytes, up goes the price because you're using a lot more network resource, etc. So we've got some text here. There's a lot of coding, which I'll be honest, I think it's about inscribing various maybe runes or something. I'm not too familiar with that. But you've got videos on here as well. Now, those videos will obviously be very, very short if they're just 4 megabytes. So this is where compression comes in. Now, I particularly love this one. You can see the quality is really low. Somebody's put piano on Bitcoin, that's great. Music on Bitcoin, love to see it. That's great, love that. And now it's going to show all of the videos. You've also got runes, which I've talked about. Now you can attach an image to your runes, which is what these are. This one's getting very popular. I wish I could afford one of those. Then you've got the parent ordinals that I've already talked on. Games is on here. So if I go to all, again, it might be a bit laggy. And it's going to take time to load these. You've got things like Breakout on here. You've got Doom somewhere on here. You've got some really cool games to check out. A lot of them are 8-bit. I just think it's amazing. You got a bit of Pool on here, look. Tetris, kind of clone. It's amazing, guys. These games on the Bitcoin network. Love it. Most exciting part for me is audio. Now, apologies, I have got a cold. I'm trying my best. I think I had COVID. I'm negative, but I think I definitely had COVID. So I am struggling a little today. Now, the downside about audio is you don't have the images associated to it. So some artists, if they're minting their music, they'll consider videos, but obviously videos have more file size. So there's a lot to weigh up. I will try and do a video about minting. It won't be a cheap video for me because I'll have to pay to do it. However, I think it may provide value, and certainly some people in the comments have asked for that. So I'll see if I can do that. But the problem with this is that it all looks the same visually. And because you can't really filter that easily, it's quite difficult. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can go by the highest fee, excuse me, or the top, and you can try and randomly choose. I think this stuff will get better. I think metadata is a difficult thing on the Bitcoin network. So I think that's something that will try and be improved on going forwards, because just having a blank screen with a load of audio inscriptions isn't the easiest. But you just go to play. I definitely see signs of hope now that, and then you can start to see, hear. Don't want to get copyright strikes, so I'll move that down. You got 3D on here. So this is fetching the 3D inscriptions. Oh, I really like that one. That one's cool. And when you click on them, because they're various file types, you're able to move them. Love that. It tells you when it was created. I think that's great. So that's pretty much Ord.io. I love it. Just to continue, you've got SVGs on here, you've got HTML, you've got JavaScript, and you've got Markdown. Now, let me just go to my profile. You should be able to see what I've been inscribing. So let me just move this over here. Check that this is recording. So this is what I've collected, and this is what I've subscribed going forwards. Let me just enlarge this screen just so that we can have a bit more information on here. So what we've got here, I created my own runes called music, music, music. And what I'm doing is I'm slowly giving that away to music that I like on the Bitcoin network. And it's doing quite well. But that's the image for it. It's not providing a lot of detail, but it is there. I collected an Ordinal. Did I sell? Oh, no, there's the other one. I was going to say I had two. Now, I did actually buy these Bitcoin apes. Now, in a video a year ago, I was convinced that these were authentic, that these were for the same Bitcoin ape community, and they weren't. They were a direct replica on the Bitcoin network. However, they are still valuable. So I decided to sell one and keep the other one. And this is my favorite one that I decided to keep because he's absolutely stunning. I love the turtleneck and the 3D glasses and his expression. So I couldn't part with him. But the kind of Apple Vision Pro one, I decided to trade. We've got some music NFTs here, some more collections on here. So yeah, it's just good to see. Runes I can click on. These are some of the runes that I've been given. And don't think, wow, he's rich, because they're almost worthless. And this is my music, music, music. So this is where it provides me more information about how many completed mints have been done, how many remaining mints, the current supply, how many holders. So I've got 13 holders currently on that. It was etched 125 days ago, maximum supply of 1 million tokens. So yeah, I created that. I was very proud of myself for doing that. And it's nice to give back to the community and to donate some tokens as well. You can see Rune's activity. You can see that you can associate your X account, your website, your profile. So I love Ord.io. I just think it's amazing. Love it. Now what we're going to quickly look onto are some of the platforms. So we've got Magic Eden. Now, Magic Eden is very similar to OpenSea, in my opinion, where you've got a lot of the collections that you can purchase. You can attach your wallet to them. You can look at Bitcoin, but also different blockchains. So you've got Ethereum on here and many more, Polygon, etc. So it's just nice that it's all been incorporated. I'm waiting for OpenSea to import Bitcoin. I don't know whether that's going to happen or not, but I hope it does. I think it needs to, because I just think they're missing a trick. You can see these are the top Bitcoin NFTs at the moment. You've got the runestone here. It's actually down. It's been going up on Saturday, but it's down on Sunday. There's so many projects, guys. And don't get me wrong, a lot of them are mega expensive. These are some of the rare Satoshis, which you're able to collect. But again, it's a bit slow on the network, so you just have to bear with it. So let me have a quick look here. You got some of the featured ones here. But can you see what's missing? You got no kind of categories. I kind of miss that. I really enjoy that. But you do have a discover. So if I go on to discover, you got collections, you can search, you can mint yourself. There's a mint terminal. Now, what you can mint on Magic Eden, I'll try and go through this on another video if I can. You are limited in what you can actually mint. It's ones that want to be funded. You've got inscribe, which is where you actually inscribe onto the network. Now, on Magic Eden at the moment, you can inscribe files. However, the limit on Magic Eden is 400 kilobytes, which is not very much. You can inscribe text, you can inscribe your domain, and you can see the history of what you've inscribed before. So there's a lot of good functionality on Magic Eden, and I've collected quite a lot for Magic Eden. And yeah, I love it. I think it's great. Great platform. The next one I wanted to check out is Gamma. Now, gamma.io is what it's called. You're able to see various drops, various prints. You can see the top drops in the last 2 weeks, for example, or of all time. You've got a lot of projects on here. You can select prints and then you're able to see those. Look at that, that's so cool. You get pre-sales on here if you got access. I find it exciting. This stuff is minted. It's inscribed on the Bitcoin blockchain. And I know I keep saying that, but I've featured Ethereum and Polygon for 3 years, and it almost doesn't feel as authentic as what Bitcoin is offering. In my opinion, it's just my opinion. You're able to create. Now, Gamma has a bit more functionality on creating. So you can create your collection on Gamma. You can apply for selling digital prints of one artwork, so multiple, not just one of one's, multiple editions. Or you can create individual inscriptions. Now, if I click on that and go to continue, this is again a limitation of what you've got at the moment. On gamma.io, you've got a single image that you can inscribe, bulk images or text, and that's it. But it's fairly straightforward. You go through a wizard to take you through it. You've also got stacks. Now, stacks are layer 2. So if you think of Polygon, if you know Ethereum and you've got Polygon, so Ethereum is layer 1, Polygon is layer 2. That's the same with stacks. Now, the advantage of layer 2 is that you've got a lot less limitations. So it's a lot cheaper as well, but it's not inscribed on the Bitcoin blockchain. So that's something to bear in mind. But there's a lot of musicians that have minted on stacks, me included. And it's really straightforward to do that. Very similar to Ethereum in that sense. But it's good that Bitcoin are offering that as well. So stacks is another opportunity. And the last marketplace I wanted to feature is ordzar.com. Now, I only came across this last week, so I think this is fairly new. They've got their own marketplace you're able to create as well. And if you have a look at the create section, you have to connect your wallet and then you get options. Let me just see if I can do that. Okay, so I've just connected my wallet. It hasn't cost me anything to do that. So you're able to pick a mint where you want to mint or random. You've got collection name. So this is actually doing a collection, which is really cool. You can set the mint price on here, what royalties. This is what I mean by a bit of a smart contract here. So you can set it up to 20%. So you fill out those details and then you can obviously add the assets and publish, which is really cool. So let's have a look now at the marketplace. So if I click on that, you've got collections, listings as well, and you can sell your ordinals that you've already collected. So you attach your wallet to it, and then you're able to market your ordinals, which is great. There's a lot of different collections on here, As you can see, a lot of kind of avatar related. That seems to be the most popular at the moment. Got some animations on here as well. And if I go to marketplace and listings, you can actually explore some of the inscriptions that are not, some will be collections and others won't be. But, these are the ones that are available, and you can see there's a huge change in price. I mean, you've got gas fees on top of these prices to bear in mind. So this is just $20. This one is $98,000. Really, looks quite similar to me, but still, it's all about scarcity and fear of missing out. I just think it's great. They've got their own token for ZAR, their own utility, and this is what a lot of the marketplaces are doing. I just think it's really cool, and that's why I thought I'd do a video about it. So look at that cat. That's brilliant. Bitcoin cats. Oh, honestly, I could talk forever about ordinals. I just love them. So that's it for this video, guys. Apologies, I am under the weather, but it was important for me to feature this on this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if there's any other marketplaces that you want me to check out or any other topic. And I'll speak to you on the next one. Take care. Bye.